Welcome back to JW's Backyard. Now, over the years, people have said that I'm childish for working on go-karts, working on PowerWheels here on this channel. And to them I say, I know you are, but what am I? Now, you know, this is the place where PowerWheels come to be reborn, like a phoenix. And I've had this one sitting around for a while, and you won't believe where I found it at. Walking down this trail here, and come across this. I've been itching to get to work on this thing, and today we're finally going to scratch that itch. Now, I knew a regular old gasoline engine just wasn't going to be good enough for something like this. And what's a phoenix without a little bit of ash? So we got ourselves a 196cc diesel engine ready to roll some coal in this thing. But let's get to work. We're going to get this thing chopped up, we're going to get this thing started, and we got a pristine Chinese four-wheeler frame that we're going to chop up and try to use on this thing. Usually I build my frames from scratch, but we're going to try something a little different this time. All right, so got the power wheels cut up, got the four-wheeler frame cut up. This is just a mock-up of what it might look like. We still got a long ways to go, but everything's pretty much where it needs to be to work. It's gonna be a weird seating position just with the steering right there, but I'm gonna see if I can move some things around a little bit. Right, so I kind of forgot that I was supposed to be filming this and did a few things off camera, but I got this bar put on, attached to the two supports from the old frame. And when we cut the top of the old frame off, we didn't have a spot to mount the factory strut anymore. And the factory strut mounted right there. And you see that's really close to our engine. We want to be able to slide that back and forth. So I'm going to relocate those brackets that were holding this strut. I got those cut off. We got one here and the other one somewhere. Oh, right here in front of me. But what I'm going to do is attach one of the brackets here, and then we'll have to make something in this area to hold the other bracket, and hopefully that geometry will work. Either way, it's going to have to. But need to get a plate to weld in to mount the engine to. And I've started drilling the holes to mount the body. Got 2 holes for the front there, and we got our 2 holes here. We may find another securing point, but those 2 are pretty good for now. So there's those 2 mounts for the front, and when I found this thing, it didn't have a front end on it, so we're gonna have to make something, but it's looking pretty good so far. And you get some idea of how it's gonna look. And of course, there's our body mounts on that board we put across. And right now, I still got the gas tank on the engine, so it doesn't look like we're gonna have a lot of space to put our feet, but we didn't have a lot of space anyway. So I may leave the gas tank on and just ride with feet here, or I may take the tank off and try to get a smaller tank and put that somewhere so there's a little more room for your feet. And then we're gonna have to work on the steering, but it's coming together. Let's get a few more bars out of this frame and get this strut put on. All right, so we got our bracket tacked on. Now we just got to figure out where the next bracket needs to be. So we're gonna have to build some type of support to hold this bracket on, but mount it somewhere around here. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of the scrap steel here. We're gonna weld it across here so we got a good base. And then we're going to use some of our tubing to come up and mount the bracket to. And I'm gonna try to tie the tubing into this bearing housing here, and hopefully that'll be strong enough to not bend or anything once we start putting some weight on it. I think that's going to work. There's probably a better way of designing this, but working with scraps here, and like I said before, I just need this to work. It doesn't have to be perfect. Looks like it's going to work pretty good like this. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for today. We got our shock mounted, we got our engine plate put on, and next time I'm gonna start working on some type of structure to support the seat, and we're gonna get something up here to these front bars to make this thing a little more solid. Gotta sit down and think about it, but make sure you're subscribed so you can keep up with the build, and I'll see you next time.